So, you want to know if you're wealthier than the average American. In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 signs that you are wealthier than the average American. These signs don't necessarily mean that you're wealthy yet. Obviously, if you're wealthy, hopefully you already know that. You can look at your bank account and do the math yourself. But these are going to be key signs that you are making the right steps financially and you are building wealth. You're on the right path. I'm going to go through these signs 1 through 7. They're in no particular order, so sign number 1 and sign number 7 are equally important, which means you're stuck watching the whole video, so thank you in advance. And let's get into it. The first sign that you're wealthier than the average American is that you have an emergency savings fund. A study done earlier this year by Bankrate showed that 56% of Americans don't have enough money in savings to cover an unexpected $1,000 expense. It's recommended that you have at least 3 to 6 months of emergency savings, and only 44% of Americans fall into that category. Ideally, you have 6+ months of emergency savings. Only 28% of Americans are in that category. These percentages vary by age group, so obviously Gen X and baby boomers have a lot more than millennials and Gen Z just because they've had more time. If you want to see where you're at compared to your age group, I'll link the study below in the description so you can go check that out. But point is, regardless of age, as long as you have an emergency savings fund, you're on the right track. Now on to the second sign, which is that you have money set aside for retirement. This can be in a retirement account like a 401k or a Roth IRA. It can also just be in a brokerage account. It can be in a high yield savings account or a regular savings account. But the point here is that you have retirement savings. 46% of Americans have no retirement savings, and this is according to a study done by, I didn't note it. I don't know, but I'm gonna link to it below. 46% of American households report having absolutely nothing set aside for retirement. That's nearly half the country. So no matter how little you have set aside for retirement, you might feel like you're behind, but having anything at all puts you ahead of most. And obviously, as you move up the ladder, as you continue to increase your retirement savings, the percentage of people that are at that level with you drops significantly. So now on to the third sign, which is that you spend less than you make. According to a recent study done by Forbes, almost 70% of Americans reported either living paycheck to paycheck or, even worse, spending more than they make. Now, there were a bunch of other studies done that had different percentages. They varied from 34% to 78%, but the majority of them were in the 60s and 70s. That's why I chose this study. The point is, the number's high. Like, regardless of what study you look at, it's a large percentage of Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck or who are spending more than what they actually make. So, living below your means is going to be the third sign that you are on the track to wealth, or wealthier than the average American. I know it can be hard sometimes to know exactly how much you spend, so I've actually gone ahead and created a completely free expense tracker. It's linked down below in the description. It's what I use to track my expenses each month, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. But yeah, so that's down in the description. You can go check that out. On to the fourth sign, which is that you own property. For me, living in Los Angeles, this feels like a faraway dream. And to be fair, for the average American, the average house is $480,000. Yeah, $480,000. Sorry, I had to glance at the script there. But this one is a little bit hard to quantify. You can use the household ownership rate, which is 66%. But that doesn't take everything into account. It calculates the amount of households that are occupied by an owner. It doesn't calculate all the people who live with roommates. It doesn't calculate people living with family. So the number is not entirely accurate. I did a bunch of digging on this one, trying to find a better study that more accurately represented what I was going for. Couldn't find anything, so this is what we're stuck with here. The percentage doesn't really matter, the stat doesn't really matter. The point is, owning property is going to be a good sign that you are wealthier than the average American. The fifth sign is that you are able to pay for all your necessities without having to worry. So I'm talking gas, groceries, health insurance, bills, rent, whatever you need to live your life, survival needs. If you can pay for those and not have to worry about it, not have to fill up half your tank, not have to check all the prices and buy the cheapest stuff at the grocery store, like, you're able to just kind of move through life day to day and get all the stuff you need. You might not be able to go out to eat all the time, you might not be able to travel all the time, but you're not stressing about your finances when it comes to making sure there's food on the table, a roof over your head. That stuff is covered. That is a great sign that you are wealthier than the average American. Big number 6. Number 6 is fun. Number 6 is that you have no debt whatsoever. 0 debt. Not many people have 0 debt. The average American has $100,000 in debt. And this is a combination of mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit card debt. And obviously there is some debt that could be considered good debt. That's a conversation for another YouTube video. But your average person probably doesn't have a ton of good debt. Average mortgage here in the States is going to be $244,000. Average auto loan is going to be $23,000. Average student loan is going to be $38,000, and average credit card debt is going to be $6,500. And the way we live today, all of this debt is pretty normalized. Having no debt is so important and is such a good sign that you're on the right track, because it gives you so much peace of mind, and it makes all of these other signs easier to achieve. It's easier to spend less than you make. It's easier to save for retirement. It's easier to have an emergency savings fund if you're not having to funnel money away every month towards debt, towards paying off credit cards, student loans, all that stuff. On to the 7th sign here, which is that you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Before you click off, before you get mad and click off, I'm joking. But no, in all seriousness, the 7th sign is that you're financially literate. So the fact that you are watching this YouTube video and you have come on YouTube and searched up videos about money, that's a good first step. If you've taken the time to watch other YouTube channels about personal finance, if you've taken the time to read books on personal finance or take classes, you are arguably making the most important step on your path to wealth building. Without a good base in financial literacy, all of the rest of these signs are going to be damn near impossible to achieve. So this is going to be, in my opinion, the most important one. I'm actually going to link in the description to some other YouTube channels, some books that I like, that I've personally used to become financially literate myself. So hopefully those help you guys out. I don't have any affiliation to any of them. I'm a tiny YouTube channel, no one knows me. But I just think they're great, and I think you should go check them out so that you can learn more for yourself. So that's it. Hopefully as we went through this video, you realize that you're not as far behind as you might have thought. I know it's easy, especially today in the age of social media, to feel very behind compared to all the people going on expensive vacations and buying nice clothes and cars and having expensive weddings. Whatever the case may be, whatever you're seeing online doesn't necessarily tell the full story. As long as you're living below your means, you're putting money away for retirement, you're on the right track. And that's all you can really do. You can't necessarily just be rich out of nowhere. So taking these baby steps, making sure that you are working towards all of these things that I've mentioned in this video is going to bring you a lot of peace of mind, and hopefully at the end of the day, it's going to make you wealthy. Also, real quick before we close out, I want to stress that it's important to do your own research. I've obviously done a lot of research to put these videos together for you guys, but that doesn't mean that my viewpoint is the only viewpoint, especially when it comes to personal finance. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach. So that's why I recommend going and watching other YouTubers, reading other books, and figuring out what resonates with you. If you like the video, please go ahead and like the video. Drop any questions, comments, concerns down in the comment section below. I will respond to all of them because I don't have a lot of followers, so it'll be easy. And if you know anyone who might benefit from this knowledge, please go ahead and share the video. Subscribe for more videos on personal finance. I post videos every Thursday except for this week, because this week it's probably coming out on Friday or Saturday. I got a little behind schedule. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.